Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Bachu.
I am Jassim Marik with sport.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Transport Minister says alarming data justifies a sharp increase in traffic fines.
Increased fees lead to frustrated drivers spending hours at licensing offices across the country trying to renew expired certificates.
I will be the first out there to cry foul, to even breach the law myself and go down there and mash up the radar myself.
Chief Secretary reacts to the possible complicity of the U.S. radar in the capture of Maduro.
Ahead in sport, CWI President Shallow hints at a review of the one-man selection system, but says Darren Sammy's head coach job is safe for now.
In news just coming to hand, the Prime Minister announces that government will head to Parliament in the coming weeks to introduce a warning system for certain vehicle defects, giving drivers a fixed period to make repairs before fines are enforced. These range from 3 to 7 days depending on the violation, covering issues such as defective lights, windscreens, mirrors, horns, excessive smoke and other vehicle faults.
She made the announcement in response to the public outcry over the recent spike in traffic tickets, saying the surge in violations confirms ongoing lawlessness on the nation's roads. Kamla Prasad-Bissessa criticized drivers who claim they were unaware of expired documents or defects in their vehicles, insisting many knowingly ignored the law.
However, the Prime Minister also revealed the government has received reports of a small number of law enforcement officers abusing the ticketing system and unfairly targeting drivers. She says both reckless motorists and any misbehaving officers will be dealt with.
Despite the proposed reform, she made it clear there will be no rollback of traffic fines and strict enforcement will continue nationwide.
And earlier today, Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Eli Zakur defended government's decision to raise road traffic fines, saying it's about safety, not revenue.
He pointed to new data and enforcement measures as proof the crackdown is necessary.
Jesse Ramdeo has more, including how many tickets were issued by law enforcement since the start of the year.
Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Eli Zakur has defended the government's decision to impose increased road traffic fines, pointing to its recent imposition to underscore the move.
In the last 2 days, close to 1,000 persons have came into license office to renew their driver's permit that should have been done within a legal time frame. We are seeing in cases where persons months and even years overdue.
Data obtained suggests that for the first 6 days of the year, 1,058 tickets have been issued. For the same period last year, 1,682 tickets were issued, while 1,688 were issued in 2024. The minister explains that the move represents a necessary response to information uncovered after assuming office, rather than a reversal of an election campaign promise driven by political expediency.
We did not have access to the operational data, the statistical data. But since assuming office, we have access to all data, and the lawlessness is worse than what we thought.
The minister noted that the previous demerit point system had failed to achieve its intended objective of improving road safety. It comes even after the police recorded a 12% reduction in road fatalities for 2025 when compared to 2024.
When evidence shows that penalties has lost their effectiveness and dangerous driving persists, government has to act.
Zakur again rejected suggestions that the increased fines were designed to raise revenue.
We cannot be subject to a popularity contest when lives are at stake. So the government acted.
According to him, over the last 2 years, late permit renewal fees raked in over $14 million.
Last year alone, in the last financial year, we received $5 million in late driving permit fees and $9 million the year before. So this is not new.
Addressing concerns about police accountability during road traffic exercises, Zakur said the red light enforcement technology is expected to be introduced. The system will involve cameras placed at traffic intersections to capture images of vehicles that breach red lights. While confirming the initiative, the minister did not provide a timeline for when the system would become operational. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
And for a third consecutive day, there were long lines at licensing offices across the country. Frustrated drivers complained of lengthy waiting times and confusion as they attempted to register, inspect, or transfer their vehicles. The rush on the division is as a result of people attempting to avoid newly increased fines for expired certificates, which has overwhelmed inspection stations and licensing offices. Many drivers, like Daniel Ravello, told us they came early to start the process.
When I reached down here, the line was straight down to my Achilles. You understand? So that's imagine from that time to now we're going on, oh no, going back up to Superior Supreme, oh no, right? So that's a serious thing. I don't know how they can rectify this problem, but that's a serious thing. People come to spend their money because of the charging people for this and for that, and people come to rectify the problem, and still is a whole situation. So something needs to be get done now, but something needs to get done and soon.
Traffic driver Nazir Mohammed says he arrived at the South office at 2 this morning to register his truck and found a disorganized system in place.
Well, I find license office should be a little more better to get your system done. We still have to get it done, and we're supposed to be more easy to get the system. We don't even have a police to guide we. We don't have like anybody to say, well, all right, join this line, join that line. Or all the people joining one line, and this one line causing a chaos in this license office. All below on the highway, all below the bridge is vehicle.
Coconut vendor Rafi Babulal says he is grateful for the outpouring of public support, but admits he is no closer to paying 6 traffic tickets totaling $19,000. Babulal has until February 3rd to pay the penalty tickets, which were issued during a police roadblock in San Fernando on Sunday. He admits he was guilty of all but one of the offenses, driving without a certificate of insurance. Babulal presented his insurance today, which expires on the 27th of this month. However, he also admits that his driver's permit was suspended last year and that he never applied to have it reinstated. He is hopeful he will be granted additional time to pay the penalties, but at a media conference today, Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Eli Zakura said there is no provision in the law to have a payment plan for tickets. That can only be done by a court. Well, as the Transport and Civil Aviation Minister doubles down on the traffic fines increases, the ministry is yet to provide the official breakdown of the figures.
However, Liana Maharaj analyzed the documents to give you an idea of what these fees look like in this report.
It's not the start some were hoping for this new year. With the arrival of 2026 also came higher traffic fines implemented by the government. While the Transport Ministry has yet to release an updated and comprehensive list of all the fee increases, we were able to cross-reference the little information provided with the 2020 list of traffic offenses, and these are some of the notable increases. One of the most common violations in 2025 was the failure of a driver or passenger to wear a seatbelt while the vehicle is in motion. That fee was $1,000 in 2020 and has been increased to $2,000. Another common charge is using one's phone while driving, which was also increased from $1,000 to $2,000. Also increasing from $1,000 to $2,000 were the offenses driving a vehicle with a child in the front seat who is 5 years and under, failing to comply with a traffic signal, and the failure to produce a vehicle for inspection or driving a vehicle without a valid inspection sticker and certificate. And for speeding, the fines have doubled. The fine for speeding from 1 to 9 kilometers an hour over the limit increased from $1,000 to $2,000. 10 to 20 kilometers an hour over the limit increased from $1,500 to $3,000. 21 to 30 kilometers an hour over the limit increased from $2,000 to $4,000. And 31 kilometers an hour or more over the limit increased from $3,000 to $6,000. As for penalties, which has become the main talk of the town, renewing your license between just 1 day and 6 months after its expiration carries a penalty of $650, and that is in addition to the renewal fee, making your total $1,150. After 6 months to 3 years, the cost is $2,250, and after 3 to 5 years, $4,000. Liana Maharaj, CNC3 News.
Earlier today, we asked whether you believe the government should delay the implementation to give motorists some time to become compliant.
And this is what you had to tell us.
Yeah, I think they should do that because it's not everybody aware of it, and then everybody's vehicle is not, that's essential, You need to hold back and give them a little time. These little small things that we could fix, try to fix them first and then proceed again that way. But if you actually, how I should say it, but actually give them a little chance, they should do better.
Yeah, I think, well, according to what the Prime Minister say and give it these 6 months, they should allow these 6 months to pass, and then if the people complying, drop the fines a little bit.
What the government's supposed to do, supposed to give the people a grace period. Fix your vehicle within 6 months or 3 months, and after a certain date, the fines are coming.
My opinion, not all the fines, right? Like reckless driving, all these things, you see it every day. Right? They could hold back on some of the small things like a bulb and, minor thing could be, rectified, but like speeding and drinking and driving, yeah, because a lot of fellas do the same shit on the road.
Government now change and everything real hard right now. So I feel I could try and ease up a little until things progress, and then they could do what they have to do. Because some people really left here on the road.
If it's done on a phase basis, yes, it would give people time psychologically to get used to it, one, and then, because I believe the uproar is because of the suddenness of it. So I think the phase basis may help for the psychological aspect because change is sometimes difficult.
Gridlock on the nation's highways has long frustrated drivers, and now officials say change is coming.
At a parliamentary committee today, the Transport Commissioner is signaling a shift away from roadside stops toward automated enforcement, including camera-based systems. Kevin Felming has more.
With traffic enforcement exercises often grinding major highways to a halt during rush hour, the licensing division is now signaling a shift away from roadside stops and towards automated enforcement. The issue surfaced during a sitting of the Joint Select Committee on Land and Physical Infrastructure on Wednesday, where Transport Commissioner Clive Clark revealed he sometimes tells his officers not to participate in joint exercises that may present certain challenges. However, he outlined the plans to modernize traffic policing through camera-based systems. Clark confirmed data needed for automated enforcement is already in place.
We could have camera systems that can check to see whether a vehicle has been inspected. We have camera system we can check to see that vehicle type, make, and model by simply looking at a picture of that vehicle. We are ready to treat with systems that could use vehicle detection for both speed and red light enforcement.
As for resource shortages, Chief Traffic Warden Neville Sanka said almost half of his manpower have moved on to other arms of national security.
A total of 325 added to what we have here. It would put us in a position that where we could satisfy the members of the public and the schools, where we could work a two-shift system and to rotate so that we could have rest days also, because traffic doesn't stop on a weekend, and normally we do not work on weekends. So we could have that rolling over to Saturdays and Sundays also to satisfy the members of the public.
But beyond enforcement and manpower, officials acknowledge that communication failures often worsen congestion. Chief Transport Engineer Adande Piggott said better real-time updates could help drivers avoid bottleneck before they escalate.
The government significantly needs to invest in variable message signs so that you can identify the alternate routes where people need to go. You have to have active, live, dynamic communication when incidents are on the road network system.
But until automation, staffing, and real-time communication are fully integrated, officials acknowledge that traffic congestion remain a daily reality for motorists. Kevin Feldman, CNC 3 News.
Still to come in the news, regional expert says TNT needs to consider its own security following Saturday's attack.
CCTV footage helps police identify and ultimately charge 2 for the murder of a local firefighter.
Coming up in sport, DJ Bravo warns regional administrators, keep up with the times or risk the continued exodus of talent. In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail,
rigorous verification of facts,
use of credible sources, and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine says he would personally destroy the U.S. military radar in Tobago if he believed it was assisting the U.S. with attacks on Venezuela. Augustine, who also leads the Tobago People's Party, made the comment during an interview with Tobago Channel 5 as he reacted to the arrest of deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and the U.S. airstrikes ordered by President Donald Trump. He said, in retrospect, he's satisfied that Tobago maintained a neutral position, arguing that small islands should avoid being drawn into conflicts between major powers. Augustine was pressed on that stance, given that Tobago hosts a U.S. radar and what appears to be a small adjacent military facility. However, he sought to assure Tobagonians there's nothing to worry about and maintained that no attack on Venezuela was launched from Tobago.
I have said that consistently to Tobagonians, that I will be the first out there to cry foul, to even breach the law myself and go down there and mash up the radar myself. If it is, I believe that it was the intent of the United States government to use Tobago soil or Tobago waters to make a strike against Venezuela.
Augustine also questioned the silence of former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley in wake of Maduro's arrest, noting that the charges allege some Caribbean politicians were involved in protecting cocaine traffickers and profiting from the trade.
Now I must ask a question, which is, how come the former and all those that were jumping out ahead of the opposition leader to have press conferences? Why are we not hearing press conferences from them? We used to see press conferences almost every day talking about the issue. Why have we not heard a single statement?
Chief Secretary said other Caribbean leaders who took sides in this impasse between Venezuela and the U.S. are now changing their tune after President Trump's show of force.
Regional security expert Dr. Gavin Hira says Trinidad and Tobago needs to take the United States invasion of Venezuela and its detention of its president seriously, as it could have national security implications. Hira makes note of the responses of Guyana and Colombia, both countries border Venezuela, and both had boosted their security at their shared border as a result. He says Trinidad and Tobago needs to have a team that has national security decision makers who can respond to developments as they occur.
They have really raised their fences. They have escalated their vigilance. They are exploring what ifs and putting contingencies in place because situations like this, where there's instability, where there's some sort of political, what I'll call shakiness taking place with a government and a nation and more so its authorities, you have to ensure that there's protection and there's a reaction and a response.
On Sunday, the Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister said the National Security Council had been meeting continuously since the attack. The Prime Minister is head of the National Security Council. Meanwhile, Venezuela's state oil company says it is negotiating with the United States to sell crude. PDVSA confirmed the talks today under existing trade agreements, saying the process mirrors Chevron's deal and is strictly commercial, stressing legality, transparency, and benefits for both sides. The announcement follows President Donald Trump's post yesterday that Venezuela will turn over up to 50 million barrels of oil worth $2.8 billion after a military operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Trump said the oil will be sold at market price, with proceeds controlled by Washington to aid both nations. He also predicted U.S. oil operations in Venezuela within 18 months. Meanwhile, today, the U.S. Coast Guard seized 2 Venezuelan-linked tankers, one near Iceland, another in the Caribbean, citing sanctions violations. Maduro, in a January 1st interview, said Venezuela is open to U.S. investment if diplomacy prevails. China, which also has energy deals with Caracas, condemned what it called U.S. intimidation and defended Venezuela's sovereignty.
And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio outlined a brief plan for Venezuela after the capture of its ousted President Nicolas Maduro. And a major running theme in that plan has to do with the nation's large oil reserves.
Rubio is focusing heavily on using that oil to fund stabilization in Venezuela, as well as making the U.S. an exclusive partner in producing oil in the future.
One of those ships that was seized that had oil in the Caribbean, you know what the interim authorities are asking for in Venezuela? They want that oil that was seized to be part of this deal. They understand that the only way they can move oil and generate revenue and not have economic collapse is if they cooperate and work with the United States, and that's what we see are going to happen.
Rubio told Venezuela it must cut ties with China, Iran, Russia, and Cuba.
The Trump administration is also demanding the country hold free elections, release political prisoners, and get rid of its drug gangs. It is unknown if Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, has responded to the demands.
Well, the move by the United States to control Venezuelan oil sales is shifting the region's energy outlook. Analysts point to price pressure and risks for the wider Caribbean.
Meanwhile, break-ins continue across downtown Port-of-Spain, and business owners are being urged to secure storefronts.
Here's more in tonight's Business Watch.
A renewed push to revitalize Venezuela's oil sector under a U.S.-led framework is injecting uncertainty into global markets, with ripple effects expected across the Caribbean. International relations specialist Dr. Mark Curtin told Business Watch that Venezuelan oil entering the system could tilt the market towards oversupply, pushing prices lower. That scenario may ease costs for consumers, but it also tightens margins for oil-producing states.
Also, it can impact oil-producing states like Guyana, which, if the price is lower, then the returns and the financial gain from the current discoveries would be significantly reduced. So that's one level. Secondly, for the Caribbean, in the absence of Petro-Caribbean, I don't know what would take place.
Curtin frames the moment as both a challenge and an opening.
Now, my view is that because we have this fragmentation in CARICOM, we may want to consider with Guyana, Trinidad, Suriname, now Suriname is just in a year's time going to be a producer of oil. While we may not want to consider, I think we ought to consider as CARICOM.
An energy expert notes that legal authority over Venezuelan oil sales remains unclear, and even if access materializes, it offers little strategic value locally. Turning to other business news, a wave of nighttime shopfront burglaries is keeping business owners on edge in downtown Port of Spain. The Downtown Owners and Merchants Association confirms that break-ins have been occurring regularly despite an alert issued to the business community on December 30th. Several premises have been targeted more than once. The latest incident it highlights was reported at 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning on Frederick Street, reinforcing concerns about ongoing after-hours risk. Property owners are being urged to secure all street-facing display windows with grills and shutters, even on well-lit streets. The association stresses that laminated or shattered proof glass is not stopping criminals who are using tools such as bolt cutters and cordless electric cutting discs. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
We are just days away from the Tobago House of Assembly elections, and the energy across the island continues to build to what many are calling the most important election in Tobago's history.
Lead editor of politics Akash Samaru is on the ground at the Tobago People's Party rally, which is expected to get underway shortly. He filed this report moments ago.
Good evening, everyone. We are in the district of Darrell Spring Wim, the lone PNM seat, but a seat the party won by just 3 votes in the last election. It is the most marginal of the marginal, so you can't blame the Tobago People's Party for putting serious effort into this constituency. If their supporters are right about a potential 50-0 sweep, they will have to take this seat from PNM candidate Kelvin Morris. Now, folks, we are now approaching the final stretch of the campaign. Parties have been having nightly meetings, accusations, accomplishments, aspirations, the order of the day, and the energy on the island is palpable. I remember telling you all last month when we came for nomination day that the vibe felt a bit low across Tobago. That has changed dramatically. You're now seeing flags in yards, flags on cars, music trucks blaring dub plates of popular songs that now include party slogans, and clear displays of political loyalty across communities. Now, the Chief Secretary told me last month that Tobagonians often care more about the THA elections than the general elections, and that intensity is certainly starting to show. Now, he is expected to address supporters here momentarily before heading to Bethel. Now, the party has been holding 2 political meetings per night right up to election day. We will, of course, be attempting to speak with Mr. Augustine sometime maybe later tonight. They're still setting up. Now, the last time we did in Buku, some TPP supporters were not too happy with our attempt to interview the Chief Secretary. They were very protective of him, but there are questions of national importance we would like to put to him. But even as some told us last time in December to go back to Trinidad, listen, that's part of the election season. Passions run high, and I know they certainly love CNC3. Now, that's it for now. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News, Glen Road Junction, Tobago.
All right, thank you so much, Akash, in Tobago, covering the election for us, along with Elizabeth Gonzalez. Well, job security, diversifying the economy, and improving Tobago's tourism are among the top issues that all 3 political parties are focusing on in this THA election.
Kate Marie Fletcher went through the various manifestos for this report.
With less than 1 week until the people of Tobago decide who will lead them going forward, all parties with a horse or goat in the race have declared their plans for the island via their manifestos. But apart from being promises on a page, or in some cases almost 100 pages, each political leader believes their vision for Tobago will win them this election, because according to them, it's truly people-centered.
Most importantly, it impacts on people. It's not just about major infrastructure projects. Of course, we need that in terms of the transformation of the housing programs, the youth programs, the intend to establish 7,000 new jobs, which is really focused on private sector stimulation and development. So it impacts some people.
PNM's manifesto has 15 pillars of development, with promises of housing, job security, and when it comes to tourism, it's promising that Tobago will become a fully digital tourism destination and a leading Caribbean destination built by locals. The Innovative Democratic Alliance, on the other hand, is promising financial resources to assist all communities.
Both the other parties practice top-down governance. We are going to be practicing bottom-up governance, where we are transferring authority, resources, money to the 40 communities across Tobago. Each of them will get $25 million, and they will start being responsible for, and having the authority to begin doing some of the work that they want to see done in communities.
IDA is promising all young people will have jobs in the private sector after they finish school. And it also plans to diversify Tobago's economy by focusing on other areas, such as implementing a weed institute. In TPP's 99-page manifesto, the reigning party revealed its plan for Tobago's autonomy: to implement a Tobago energy transition program, to shift from using fossil fuels to solar and ocean energy. And it also promised to provide 1,000 new homes, which will create 4,000 jobs. Attempts to contact TPP's political leader, Fali Augustine, to find out what promises were not achieved during his current term were futile. K. Marie Fletcher, CNC3 News.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
The best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Gala apples, 10 for $20. Tyson chicken leg quarters, 11 pounds, $94.95. Sunland chicken breast, 4 pounds, $94.95. Forte Frost straight cut fries, 2 for $69.95. Swiss Spouch ketchup, 2 for $19.95. Swiss macaroni and spaghetti, 400 grams, 4 for $19.95. Swiss lasagna, 2 for $23.95. Aquapure, 330 ml, 5 cases for $90. Offers available while stocks last.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should with Rand Credit Union. Yes, you could make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
A mortgage is what helps you turn your dream of owning a home into reality. First Citizens helps you plan for every other cost, such as insurance, maintenance, and utilities. Mortgages build equity, offer long-term investment, and give you freedom to make the space yours. First Citizens is here to help you understand your first steps to a mortgage. First Citizens.
With Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around, high quality meat pound for pound. Get the best for let's start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket. Shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices. Every aisle just wide and spacious. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
Passage to Asia, ultra premium all inclusive. St. Andrew
January 2026 from 4 p.m. On stage, we are bringing to you Nyla Blackman, Raymond Randaran, and Dylan Adan. The Camtasia with the All-Stars Band featuring Viking Ding Dong, College Boy Jassy, and Alnika Berry. Unlimited drinks, over 40 dishes to tantalize your taste buds. Get your tickets online at Island E-Tickets, all regular outlets, or call 742-4309 or 685-8697.
Welcome back. The Director of Public Prosecutions has ordered charges against 2 men for the murder of firefighter Bruce Lizama.
Investigators identified the suspects from CCTV cameras that Lizama installed at his Arima home after 2 break-ins last year. The men are expected to appear before a High Court master by week's end. 46-year-old Lizama went missing on December 27th after 2 armed men abducted him from his home and forced him into his silver Tida. His car was later found abandoned on Tumpuna Road South. His body was discovered 3 days later down a precipice along Blanchisseuse Road. Relatives say they are glad justice is being served, but admit his killing has left a void. Beautiful day outside today.
It was. Right? We were out there.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. The Met Office says the islands can expect a mostly fair and sunny day with a few brief showers during the afternoon. There's a low chance of a moderate to heavy shower favoring hilly areas and western Trinidad. Tomorrow's maximum temperature in Trinidad will be 31 degrees, while Tobago will experience a high of 30 degrees Celsius. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 to 2 meters in open waters and near 1 meter in sheltered areas. Marine interests near exposed northern and northeastern coasts should exercise caution in all sea-related activities due to the possibility of northeasterly long-period swells. Well, still to come in the news. In tonight's Wellness Wednesday, we'll explain why your hands may be the key to good health. Stick around.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Lentil, £2 for $13.95. Red beans, £2, $19.95. Swiss Econopack ketchup, 750 ml, 3 for $19.95. Chubby, 3 cases for $100. Cool Kids, 2 cases for $100. Cheetos, 1.25 ounces, 4 for $19.95. Richport tuna flakes, 3-pack, $14.95. Richport vegetable oil, 3 liters, $39.95. Offers available while stocks last.
At Guardian General Insurance, we know your home is more than just a building. It's where your family feels safe and where memories are made. That's why we're here to protect not just your house, but the people and dreams inside it. We are your partner, working alongside you to provide the right protection, the right support, and the peace of mind you deserve. With Guardian General Insurance, you can live safe, live easy.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Anchor cheddar and vegetarian cheese, 250 grams, 2 for $44.95. Golden brand margarine, 227 grams, 3 for $19.95. Wings, 1 kg, $29.95. Protect soap, 3-pack, $18.95. Colgate Great Regular Flavor, 4 ounces, 2 for $29.95. Soft and Pretty bathroom tissue, 12-pack for $18.95. Offers available while stocks last.
By public demand, the draw date for the 3-car raffle presented on behalf of Queens Royal College is now extended to Saturday, January 24th.
First prize is a luxurious, fully loaded Royal Ride Ford Ranger.
New draw date, Saturday, January 24th.
Tickets only $100.
All tickets already purchased remain valid, and additional tickets at $100 are still available at
IslandEtickets.com. Lewis Appliances, corner Dragon Road and Edward Street. Caribbean Jewelers, Twin City Mall. Mandarin Mini Mart St. Anne's. A. Moses and Sons, 181 Dragon Road. Quaysay Supermarket, Calcutta Road number 2. Strive Restaurant and Bar, Bukarapa Road. Unique Tire Shop, Gopal Avenue, Martin. First Priority Music, Gulf City Mall. SNSR Food Center, Princesstown. Michelle's Arima. Roaming's Hardware, Maraval. Cascade Minimart. Kelly Supermarket, Martin Main Road. And at the following NP Quick Shops: Morva Junction, Saddle Road, San Juan, and Dinsley Junction.
The deadline for ticket purchase is Monday, 19th January. Get your tickets now.
For more info, call the college at 622-1671 or the hotline at 491-1802.
Well, many of us live in a constant state of stress.
But Korean acupuncturist Kristen Lee says we can flip the switch from fight or flight to rest and digest using a unique form of acupuncture.
Ren Pinero and Crystal James explore why the key to a healthier you might be found in the palm of your hands.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
The eyes may be the windows to the soul, but the hands, well, those may be the keys to good health. See, in the world of Korean acupuncture, the palm is a sophisticated micromap to the entire internal system.
We are basically inserting the points at specific points of the hand corresponding to different parts of the body. So this is not only physical parts of the body, but it's also organs as well, the internal organs like your spleen, your stomach, your bladder, your gallbladder. And we're all getting to stimulate those points of the nervous system in those organs. It also releases different forms of blood at the end where we can actually realize and see which parts of the body is stagnant or where the chi or the blood is stuck.
Korean acupuncturist Kristen Lee was inspired by her own mother, who used this ancient practice to treat Kristen's childhood migraines. Over the last 8 years, she's been helping clients find a gentle, less invasive way to bring their bodies back into balance.
By stimulating specific points on the hands, we can support the nervous system, improve circulation, reduce stress, relieve pain, and basically bring the body back into regulation.
Now, a typical session lasts about an hour, but with only 10 minutes to spare, I jumped up on the bed. At best, my body would get a much-needed reset. At worst, I'll find out if these needles actually hurt.
Just relax and nice deep breaths through your nose, okay?
As the needles go in, spoiler alert, it's just a tiny pinch. Kristen explains that this isn't just about the hand, it's about signaling the brain to flip a switch.
When our bodies, basically on a day-to-day, we're in a highly stressed state, the nervous system is in a flight or fight mode. And when we stimulate these points, the nervous system actually activates the parasympathetic part of the nervous system, where basically our brain is being told to relax.
Kristen says some feel the shift immediately, while others notice it days later. For a full nervous system reset, she recommends a visit every 2 or 4 weeks. But she's the first to admit this isn't a magic needle that fixes everything overnight.
We have your lifestyle, and having, of course, a healthy diet, a healthy amount of sleep and exercise is essential for doing this and improving your overall balance.
So, if you're looking for a fresh start this year, maybe start with your hands. It's a New Year's resolution your nervous system will thank you for. Brent Panera, CNC3 News.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
Would you be willing to try it?
I'm not quite sure. I don't know how I feel about needles. What about you?
I would try it. I'll probably close my eyes while she's piercing the needles in, but I will definitely try. What about you, Jassy? Is this something that you'd be willing to try?
Yeah, anything to have a little less stress on the body and on the mind.
We also saw some younger ones on Monday, but now we're seeing the teenagers at the Golden League.
Yeah, that's right, Ryan, and they were led by Carifta stars Tyreek and Tanique Vincent, as well as Cheyenne Lewis, in starting their seasons with big wins. We'll have the details after this break.
With Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Sumitomo, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Before you take your omega-3 supplement, check for the natural product number NPN on the label. This unique code shows that Jameson products have approved rigorous Health Canada testing for safety and effectiveness. Unlike some supplements that carry disclaimers like not approved by the FDA, Jameson Omega-3 is the trusted choice, offering 1,800 milligrams of EPA and DHA for heart health. Choose quality. Choose Jameson.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Gala apples, 10 for $20. Tyson chicken leg quarters, 11 pounds, $94.95. Sunland chicken breast, 4 pounds, $94.95. Forte Frost straight cut fries, 2 for $69.95. Swiss Spout ketchup, 2 for $19.95. Swiss macaroni and spaghetti, 400 grams, 4 for $19.95. Swiss lasagna, 2 for $23.95. Aquapure, 330 ml, 5 cases for $90. Offers available while stocks last.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies like their bones, muscles, joints, brain, heart, and also their immune health. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way because they deserve it.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Cricket West Indies president Dr. Kishore Shallow says head coach Darren Sammy will have at least until the ICC 50-over World Cup next year, as they will use that tournament as a measuring stick for his tenure. Speaking on the Mason and Guest radio show in Barbados on Tuesday, Dr. Shallow added that the one selector policy will also be reviewed. Ian Wason has more.
Darren Sammy has been under the microscope. In 2025, the West Indies only won 25% of all matches. Their last Test match win was under former coach Andrew Kohli. Speaking on the Mason and Guest cricket show on Tuesday night, CWI President Dr. Kishore Shallow, who reaffirmed his confidence in Sammy after last year's 27-run disaster against Australia, continued his backing of the St. Lucian.
Realistically, one, the T20 World Cup that is coming, we have planned for this from the recruitment of Darren Sammy. And right. Two, the ODI World Cup next year. Okay. So these would be two key tournaments to measure the success of the head coach and for the men's white ball team.
However, Dr. Shallow did hint that CWI might be inclined to review Sammy's role as the lone selector across formats.
Nothing we do is cast in stone, including our selection system that we have established. We did say that we are committed to reviewing that at some point. As a board, we made a decision that we are going to give it a try. We are going to see if it works, and we're going to have a point where we review it as well.
Shallow said that although Sammy has the final say in selection, he continues to rely on recommendations from territorial selectors. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Staying with cricket, the regional board will go down to the wire before releasing the 15-man squad for next month's ICC T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. Previously, lone selector Darren Sammy was said to be awaiting the go-ahead from CWI's medical panel for pacers Alzari and Shamar Joseph to be cleared to play.
The latest that I saw on Shamar is that he's fit and ready to go. I saw some stats a couple of days ago where he was going through his bowling protocols and he was bowling pretty fast. He was in the 140s without any discomfort at all. So he's ready to go. Alzari, I'm not sure as to where he is exactly today, but I know that he's been going through his return to play protocol and that so far he has been hitting all the targets that are required.
Dr. Bennett was speaking on last evening's Mason and Guest radio show in Barbados, where CWI President Dr. Kishore Shallow later confirmed that the World Cup team will be named nearer to the T20 series between the West Indies and Afghanistan, which begins on January 19th. Well, last night I gave you the musings of former West Indies player Dwayne Bravo. Tonight we continue that series and conclude it actually with a fair assessment from the man on West Indies cricket.
I get the brunt of the legs, and you go back into the Caribbean, and again they call us all kind of names. I was dropped, and so you know my song Champion? That's how that song came about.
As a guest on the Baird Before Wicket YouTube podcast, former West Indies captain Dwayne Bravo spoke about how the fallout from his leadership of the West Indies ODI team's walkout in India 2014 spawned his 2016 mega hit Champion, which became the unofficial anthem to the team's T20 World Cup triumph that year.
So I recorded the song in 2015, held it, never released it.
Oh, no way.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so basically it was released 1 year later. And the concept and the idea came from all what I was been going through back then.
Though he is one of the world's most decorated T20 players, Bravo's international career, even in that format, was hindered by several player-administrator rifts along the way. The last of them, at the height of the rise of T20 cricket, has set the lasting tone for some of those relationships today.
The way how the cricket is run, from an organization point of view, it will always have these players versus board, players versus country, franchise, and these kind of things. The sport has changed, and the direction of where the sport is going now, they cannot be stubborn in their thinking that you have to play for your country, because you cannot play for your country if you're not good. So you also make sacrifices, and you also do what you have to do to represent your country. In return, your country have to also show that appreciation.
The self-proclaimed Sir Champion explained further.
It's not like if you don't play for your country, you cannot make it. They have guys, Pollard never played a test match, and he's very comfortable and happy. There's no crime in making money. Like, this is your gift. This is your God-given gift, and you have to use it to the best of your ability.
With his playing days now behind him following his official retirement in 2024, Bravo has moved seamlessly into coaching, but says it may take some time to see him in a West Indies dugout.
Things have to be better. Like, you can't expect the players to produce if the conditions is not good. Like, we will challenge CEOs, we'll challenge presidents, we'll challenge selectors respectfully.
Bravo was eager to outline some of those improvements.
I think over the years, my biggest disappointment in the Caribbean is our infrastructure remained the same for the last 35 years. Back then, it was just talent versus talent. And when it comes to natural talent, West Indians was more stronger, more athletic. Then now, science started to come into play, infrastructure. So Australia and England and South Africa and India, all these people started to improve their infrastructure. Whereas in West Indies, we keep relying on natural talent.
He applied the same principle to the West Indies' backslide in the T20 version.
When T20 cricket now come out, it was based on power. And that's what we had. The rest of the world catch on. Our cricket hasn't improved. So that's why even in T20 now it become an even playing field. Whereas the first few years it was West Indies here and everybody else here.
Interesting comments there from DJ Bravo. Now, earlier this week, we brought you highlights from the first installment of the 2026 edition of Kishore Walcott's Golden League Athletics Series. Tonight, we take a look at some of the day's big winners.
Crifter Games decathlon gold medalist Tariq Vincent produced a 43.39-meter best throw in the boys under-20 discus with his very first effort. However, Darian Boyce of Ascend Athletics would eventually emerge victorious with his second throw of 43.50 meters, topping the group. Ascend's Jaden Ned was third, his final throw 43.10 meters, earning him a spot on the rostrum. But Vincent didn't leave the Eddie Hart empty-handed. Both he and his sister Tanique swept the under-20 javelin event, Tariq flinging the spare 42.50 meters for gold, Tanique 25.79 for the same precious metal. Last year's best performer in the grand finale, another Carifta medalist Cheyenne Lewis, won the girls under 20 400 meters in a time of 59.94 seconds. Charis McKee was second and Janicia Alambi third. Kiana Cummings was one of two athletes to push ahead on the point standings on Sunday. She won the girls under 15 60 meters by a whisker, pipping Kalani Weeks at the line in an identical 8.35 seconds. Togo Titans' Yannick Stewart was third. Cummings of Pace and Performance Athletic Club also won her age group's 200 meters in 26.92 seconds and the 400 meters in 1 minute 5.67 to cap a stellar day on the grass. Duki's Athletics' Elijah Titus was the other treble winner on day one of the Golden League, this time in the field. Throws of 25.10 meters, 24.02 meters, and 13.30 meters saw him top the boys under 15 javelin, discus, and shot put. Cougars under 11 sprinter Joel Diaz also celebrated multiple victories, winning the 60 meters in a time of 8.95 from Memphis Pioneers' Jason Grosvenor and clubmate Jameer Christian. Grosvenor was again second fiddle in the U11 150 meters as Diaz blazed a 21.78 second win. Ace Peters was third. The Golden League founder, Olympic and World Champs gold medalist Keyshawn Walcott says after the lessons learned in last year's inaugural edition, he took some advice to aid Year 2's success.
I think it was just more about listening to the coaches to see which events they actually wanted to do, what the athletes wanted to do, especially for this period of time. So yeah, I think we kind of had, before the competition started, we had a meeting with the coaches and they kind of gave the input. So I think that was the biggest change. I'm happy to start. Once the first one is always the hardest one. So as this one goes off and hopefully everything goes well for the rest of the day. So I think the next couple going to Tobago, going to Point, everything should run smoothly. Hopefully we get some new athletes coming out. I'm not sure how much athletes we'll be able to handle, but hopefully for the other competitions, going to Togo, going to Tobago, hopefully I would like Tobago to be a bit better.
Tobago's turn is on January 18th at the Shore Park Multipurpose Complex in Scarborough. Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
All right, thank you, Jovan. Well, tonight's Sport High comes from the Premier League. Enjoy.
Spurs were up against it away to Bournemouth when Paulinho produced a bicicleta to bring them back level. But in the 90+5, Antoine Semenyo had a parting gift for the Cherries faithful. From distance, out of reach, and for the win. So Semenyo for sublimely smacking Spurs at the death. You earn tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
That's it from me, guys.
Thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take another break. Stay with us right here on CNC3.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around, high quality meat pound for pound. Get the best for less, start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket. Shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices. Every aisle just wide and special. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
Welcome back. Reigning Chutney Soca monarch Marshall Montano will return to the competition to defend his title this year. This was confirmed a short while ago as SouthX launched the 2026 competition at Guardian Media and announced Sangeet 106.1 FM as its official partner. In addition to King and Queen titles, promoter George Singh also announced there will be a third title up for grabs, the traditional Chutney Monarch. He says keeping this art form alive is important. Meanwhile, Montano had this message in a pre-recorded video at the launch.
Greetings CSM family, this is Marshall Montano, wishing you all a happy carnival season and a wonderful 2026. It was an honor for me to represent as the Chutney Soca Monarch for 2025, and I just want to say that I'm excited to defend that crown on Sunday, the 8th of February at the Skinner Park in San Fernando for the Chucky Soca Monarch Finals. I will be there, and I wish everyone good luck. Thank you.
The screenings will take place this Saturday at the Guardian Media Building ahead of the semi-final round on January 30th. Well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambley.
I'm Ryan Bachu.
And I am Jassy Marik. Good night.